How else can people improve the SEO of their websites?
SEO. We tell people to start with the basics. Get all your. Obviously, you want to figure out what keywords are best for your industry. Figure out what the most competitive, overarching keyword it is for your specific niche and your specific area. We focus on a lot of local SEO in my agency. We really don't take on much national campaigns because local is really beneficial for most local businesses. I mean, they don't. If you're brick and mortar, you don't need to get attention.
You're a nationwide presence.
Right. I always tell people focus on getting those local keywords down, and then really just do the basics. Get your on-page SEO on point. So on-page SEO means everything that you visually actually see on the website, your headlines, your meta title, meta tags. Meta titles are what you'll see kind of inside of the bookmark bar at the top. That's usually the meta title, and then there's a meta description. That's the description that you'll see when you make a search on Google. You usually see that top bar. That's the meta title, and then you'll see that little description below it, and that's the meta description. Get those on point, get those optimized for your local keywords. That's probably one of the most important things. And then on the actual website, the header tags that you have H1 tags, you have H2 tags, H3s. And you want to make sure that those are on point and matching with your keywords that are in your meta title, meta description. And then those are the main things. Mm-hmm. I've seen literally websites where businesses didn't have these things in place, and just doing the on-page SEO, we've been able to take businesses from like not even being in the top 100 searches on Google to literally jumping to like page 2 or 3. Wow. Just by doing the on-page SEO. Mm-hmm. This goes back to the point where I think I was saying earlier, like 90% of the websites on the internet suck. Yeah. Because most people, when they first throw up a website, they kind of keep everything stock. They don't even go into the meta title, meta description. And change those things. If they just change those simple things, like they can be on like page 2 or 3. Yeah. And be outranking all those other businesses. Yeah. So I think definitely if you have a website, do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does that translate into more purchases? Like, do you see, like, what kind of results do you end up seeing when you start putting some of these stuff into place?
Yeah. It could be game changer for most local services businesses. A business on page 2 or 3 of Google for the most competitive overarching keyword, and maybe potentially hundreds of other keywords that are relevant to that, is going to get significantly less traffic than a business that's on page 1 and let's say position 3 or 4, or especially if you're in position 1, it's kind of game over at that point. Mm-hmm. You will have leads forever. Mm-hmm. If you can make it to page 1 for your most competitive overarching keyword. And that's what I always tell businesses is like focus on that keyword, that most competitive, the one that has the most search value for your local terms. We've literally seen businesses triple, quadruple, 10x revenue. Wow. By getting to position 1. And I'm not kidding. Like, I've seen businesses go from making $50,000 a year to becoming $500,000 a year businesses, $1 million businesses that were doing, or businesses that were only potentially doing $80,000 a year. Now they're doing $800,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Sky's the limit with SEO, if you're doing it right. Yeah. It was.
What are some of the less known?
And that you have the other systems in place as well.
Right.
Because it's not just getting traffic, but you got to know how to convert that traffic into actual money.
That's a big one, right? I mean, you can have all the visitors in the world, but if they're not actually, converting, then what's the point? Yeah.
Got to work with the right businesses.
Yeah. So what are some of the less known things that people haven't heard about? I am not big in SEO, but I've heard things like backlinks and stuff like that. What are backlinks, and do they help as well?
Absolutely. Backlinks are probably one of the... So let's go back a little bit in history and SEO. Google, that was one of Google's original primary metrics that they ranked websites on is how many backlinks you had. So back in the days, what a lot of people would do is they would try to get all these different websites to link back to their website, meaning like they would have a website they'd go to another company and they'd be like, hey, would you mind like maybe writing up an article about our organization on your blog so that we can get a link, which just means like when they click on it on their website, it takes you to the business's website. And that's a backlink. It's a simple backlink. And the more of those that you got, the more trust you would have with Google, and the more your website would move up the rankings. Backlinks are still one of the biggest ranking factors, though, to this date. We're talking back in 2000 when Google was kind of first in its inception. But still to this date, backlinks are still super important. It's just now Google looks at them more intelligently. The quality of the backlink, how much trust factor does that business have, and then how much does that link then links back to yours? How much SEO, quote unquote, SEO juice it gives back to your website. And so backlinks are super, super important, and not all backlinks are created equal. Like, let's say I was to get a backlink from, give you guys a lot. I'm gonna give you a lot on here. Little secret sauce. Let's say I was to get a backlink from, I don't know, CNN or some major newscast. Their website has a lot of trust. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
You're gonna gain a lot of trust from that backlink compared to, let's say, a new website that was just launched a year ago and you get a backlink from them. So
Sure, that's a big deal.
yeah.